I've been a filmmaker for the last 10 years, and I've had the opportunity to film with people in places I never imagined I would ever have the opportunity to go. If you look back with me at the Edge Factor mission, it was and it still is to get students and job seekers on their journey to discover training and career pathways. My team and we get to take our cameras behind closed doors in companies across North America, and sometimes in the most unlikely places, but all of it is in an effort to help people like you explore career options. And it's been quite a ride, literally. I have filmed from hundreds of feet above the ground in helicopters, racing beside boats on rivers, to thousands of feet below ground in mines, and everything in between. I filmed in thousands of locations, companies, coast to coast, even around the world, and yet, every day, I'm learning from the people that I meet and the great things that they're doing. And so on this journey today, I want to give you some lessons that I'm learning as we look through the lens in a session called Open Hands, Open Mind. I always enjoy hearing about the journey of the people that I'm filming with and how they got where they are. What was the motivation, the catalyst, the thing that brought them to the moment where we were standing together and the camera was rolling. As a part of a new series that Edge Factor is producing called Made In, I've had the chance to crisscross North America in George, our tour bus, a mobile studio, and we've been filming many industries, exploring careers and putting the spotlight on products that are being created. Well, recently, while I was in North Carolina at a mold making shop, I'm not sure if you've ever heard of or seen injection molding, but I think that your mind, or at least mine certainly was blown at how this stuff works. Mark, he definitely knew his stuff.
Hi, my name is Mark Rotman. I'm from Ameritech Dye and Mold, and today we want to kind of show you how intricate plastic parts are made. So we have these natural pellets here, and what we're going to do is we're going to load these pellets into a hopper on our molding machine. So up on top we've got a hopper, so the pellets are going to fall down and get augered in using a screw, and they're going to basically go from room temperature to about 430 degrees. So that's going to melt the plastic and turn it into almost a liquid, and then we're going to inject it into the mold at very high pressure. So if we come up here, we can see a part that's been recently molded. So the part is waiting, ready to be pulled off of the mold, so we can pull it off, and typically this would be done by a robot in a production environment. So once the part is removed, we're ready to close the machine and let it cycle another. So as the machine closes, it's going to have two different halves. So we've got what we call the cavity side, forms the front half, and then the core side on the back side. That's going to form all this back detail. These two halves have to come together and perfectly align. This molding machine has to hold these two halves together with 500 tons of force. So we'll see here the mold will open up, and we've now produced another part. So the time frame for this, for making these parts, is roughly 60 seconds. So again, we're going to take the pellets, we're going to go into the hopper, and they're going to go through a melting process. As they're being melted, they're getting prepared to be forced into this mold, where it'll take a pelletized version and turn it into an actual part.
What immediately stuck out after the tour was that Ameritech was leading both in technology, but also how to train and retain their employees. You know, to see how many people had done their apprenticeship and then stuck around investing back into the company, but also using what they learned to pass it on to the next generation of apprentices. It was very, very impressive. Now look, if you're thinking about a career choice, know this: there are many paths that lead to a great career. If you can find a good apprenticeship, you will earn while you learn and do it in the real world. You know, most people I meet, they're not aware of the many, many options they have to launch their career. And as we were filming, I'll tell you what, I heard this story, I looked at what they were doing, I looked around the shop, and to my great satisfaction, I recognized cutting tools that I personally had influenced and helped to create. Because when I look back before Edge Factor, fresh out of high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do. My uncle had just bought this 5-axis CNC machine and was told that all you needed to do was to get this German technology with a PhD, push your dummy. I was invited to be that dummy. I'll tell you what, we quickly learned that operating this level of technology was not for dummies. It was gonna take my mind and my hands to learn and grow with the incredible changes happening all around me as a 5-axis programmer. See, here's the thing. I was not a machinist. I was not a mold maker. I was a cutter grinder. It was a summer job that turned into a career for me. And we made cutting tools that the machinist and the mold makers used to cut their parts. So why am I explaining? Why does this matter? Look, if you want to start to understand your career options, you also have to know what those options are. And to do this, you need opportunity. And to seek out opportunities, you have to network and ask good questions. Hey, look, I'm interested to know where you got and how you got there. Do you have insights to share with me? Ask good questions. You know, my pathway was not very traditional. I went straight into a job in manufacturing, on-the-job learning. So I want you to recognize that there are many paths to a successful career. But lesson number 2 is also ask people about their career journey. Because you know what, you can start with the people that you know, the low-hanging fruit like a parent, maybe an uncle or an aunt. You know, get details on their journey, the mistakes they made, the lessons they had to learn. As well, I would encourage you to actually reach out to some of the companies in your community. Go to their website, leave them a message, ask them how people land a job at their company and what type of a person might be a good fit with their team. It feels bold maybe to you, but I know that most manufacturers would be willing to talk to you, even offer to give you a tour and share more on how they train and help somebody launch a career through the training programs they offer. And the truth is, you have nothing to lose and you have everything to gain. My son once made a poster for me with this on it: "It's not rocket science." I guess it's something I say a lot. While you could end up being a rocket scientist in your career with all of the new manufacturing being done for space tourism, the reality is to actually build a career that you love, it's not as complex as learning rocket science. Listen to what Letha had to say about this.
I am Letha Cummings. I am a supervisor at ABB at the Portsmouth plant, and my department is Portsmouth status. My number one goal each and every day is to make sure we are putting the best quality motor out there. So every day that I come in, it's not like you know exactly what you're going to be faced with. You don't know what obstacles you're going to have to overcome through the course of your day. You just kind of like immediately working on hand as quickly as possible, paying attention to everything, and just trying to make sure that everything flows productively and at the highest quality. In order to be a supervisor, you need to have experience in manufacturing. You need to have a college education. It is great to be able to relate to anybody, relate to people of all different walks. You need to be able to identify people's strengths and their weaknesses so that you can, properly place each person where they will be the strongest at. You need to be able to have quick decision-making skills. You need to be able to work under pressure. You need to be able to have time management. You need to be detail-oriented, focused. You need to lead by example. I say the most important part of being a supervisor is leading with integrity. Everything that you do, people are watching you. They will follow you and your vision and the way you are on a day-to-day basis.
I remember talking with Letha about this. As a leader, many people ask her, wow, how do I get a position like yours? You can figure a lot of things out when you actually surround yourself with high-functioning, high-quality people who are experiencing success in the same areas that you want to be successful in. Look at them and ask yourself, what are they doing that I'm not? Or maybe how can I learn and embody and really copy the skills that they have? Maybe look at the top students in your class or reach out to the people in your life you know who've started a business. Maybe the youngest person you know who is able to purchase a house. What are they doing? What are the attitudes that they have? How do they present themselves? What industry are they working in? And where do they receive their training? I loved it when Letha said, the most important thing about being a supervisor is leading with integrity. Everything you do, people are watching, and they'll follow you and your vision. You know what? It's true. Surround yourself with people who drive you to be and do better. It reminds me of the saying, show me your 5 closest friends and I'll show you your future. Choose your friends wisely. Surround yourself with people who make you better. People who add gasoline to your passion and water on your fears. And speaking of water, let's take a look at Deep Trekker.
So here at Deep Trekker, the very first product that we made was a remotely operated vehicle. So what is a remotely operated vehicle, or an ROV? It is essentially an underwater drone. Now, I wanted one of these for shipwreck hunting. Growing up in the Great Lakes area of Ontario, there are thousands of shipwrecks and some of them haven't been discovered yet. What I didn't know was how many other people these are useful for. We immediately went out of the gate and started selling to fish farms, and then we started to get into energy. So all around the world we have nuclear power plants, coal, and hydroelectric. All of these have assets that are underwater or water containing. And so we do inspections of all manner of things, whether that's intakes for the cooling towers or going right in those nuclear reactors themselves. So this is where the magic happens. This is where we build the ROVs. And we build a lot of the parts independently, and they all come together on this line. These side bodies are made of cast aluminum, and then we do a process called anodizing and epoxy powder coat, and that makes sure that those don't corrode when they go into salt water. We got circuit boards coming on here. The 2 batteries are being installed onto the aluminum frame. We have engineers that are making programs for this to make the robots run completely. So Aaron's working over here on the final assembly. He takes those side bodies as well as that center unit and installs it with that 360-degree Lexan window. Here is where we charge up the batteries. The units come and stay here. They travel with their PDI sheets as well. Every step that we take through on the build process goes into this book and gets double checked by the assembler as well as the quality team. And then we run an automated process of all the functions of the ROV. The camera's moving up and down, the thrusters are moving, and we run through a full battery cycle. Some of our customers, my favorite ones, are shipwreck hunters, and they're going down to look for those long lost shipwrecks, sometimes up to 1,000 feet or more. And so we test each and every unit that goes out to our customers in these big pressure tanks. This lid alone weighs as much as my car because the pressure inside of this tank is up to 500 psi. The force pushing up on this lid is 750,000 pounds of force, which is equal to 15 bulldozers stacked right up on top of each other. And so we test those units to make sure that the quality is there, all the parts are put together correctly, and they can withstand that crushing pressure. We want to make sure that every one of our ROVs is working perfectly when it gets to the customer.
Sometimes clarity only comes by doing something. I'm pretty sure that Sam did not grow up saying, I'm going to create an underwater remote operated vehicle one day. But she tried new things. She stepped out of her comfort zone. She learned the technical skills she needed to design, and then had the courage to take the risk to start her own business. And the more she learned, the more clarity she gained about what she liked and didn't like, and the clearer her career pathway and her future became for her. Which really brings us to the final lesson today. Visualize and imagine. Write it down. Do something and learn, and then rinse and repeat that. You know, writing down your goals in clear, short sentences will force you to get clear on what exactly it is that you want to accomplish. Maybe you have to tape it to your bathroom mirror so you see it every day. Brush your teeth and read it over. See your goals in the morning, and at night it will definitely motivate you, will help you think through the steps that you need to take to make your goals a reality. Whatever your future looks like, know that your ideas are yours to own. Manufacturing, I love it because it's an incredible vehicle to take your ideas, merge them with your hands, and actually bring them to life. Turning them into tangible items that you can hold with your hands. With technology like CAD, CAM, you can design it. With machines and robots, you can create it. As an inventor, a maker, a manufacturer, an entrepreneur, your ideas, they'll have the power to shape the world. You can reimagine the future, impact people's lives, push back the edge of what's possible. And so if you're thinking about how to launch a career, or maybe you're looking to make a change from where you're at, I hope the 5 things that we learned about today are helpful. First, recognize how many paths there are to a successful career. 2, ask good questions to people about their career journey. Figure out what you need to learn to get the position you want today, tomorrow, and into the future. Choose your friends wisely. Surround yourself with people who make you better. And finally, imagine, write, do, and learn, and you're gonna have to rinse and repeat that. If you want to learn more about the inspiration, exploration, preparation, and connection journey that you can go on with Edge Factor, create your free Edge Factor account at edgefactor.com. We have got thousands of inspiring videos and career tools that will help you learn about the incredible careers in the manufacturing industry. And I want to say special thanks to the following leaders for their commitment to empowering students and job seekers to explore and launch rewarding careers in manufacturing. ABB, California Arts Media and Entertainment, the Canadian Manufacturers and Exporters, Mastercam, My Blueprint, the National Coalition of Advanced Technology Centers, National Institute of Metalworking Skills, NTMA and AMPT, Precision Manufacturing Association, SME Education Foundation, and Women in Manufacturing. We're proud to be standing beside you guys, and we want to help you raise up the next generation of makers. Guys, I look forward to seeing you out there and hope that I get a chance to work with you to tell your story after you start to change the world.